everybody. Real quick, if I look like I'm kind of out of it today, I am. My foot is huge and swollen because, I don't know, I have to go to a follow-up appointment with the doctor about the whole situation about my foot and my back. My neck feels much better than it did earlier today. I end up so I got recommended this cream for my neck. They said I won't be able to put it on my back unless somebody puts it on for me, but at least I can get some relief with my neck. So I put this, I guess you can call it like a balm, and I put it all over my neck like 4 times today. And watch this. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the videos I've done on this channel or on my other channels, but I was like turning my shoulders instead of turning my neck. Now look. I mean, it still hurts to do that, but I had no movement for a while. I had no movement. Now I have some movement. Hi, Dash. How you doing? So there's some good news there. My lower back is killing me, though, and my left foot is just yelling and screaming at me to stop driving Uber. Because even though I use my right foot to drive, when I have to get out to do like an Uber Eats or get out and try to help somebody load suitcases in the back because they don't understand English, it's just like... And of course, you know what's really terrible is even going to my primary doctor and calling him to see if he could get me a prescription for something stronger than prescription strength ibuprofen that kills my stomach. They don't even want to do that. So whatever. Okay. Well, I have some breaking news today on the channel front. It's a 3-part news. So the first part 1, is that I'm contemplating, I had a life-changing thing occur today. Very life-changing. Thank you, Dash. Appreciate you. So I had this life-changing event today that I may take my other channel, one of my other channels, and reboot the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week live stream for 1 year. I made it 30 days last time, live streaming my life for all day, all night for 30 days straight. I want to try to do it for 1 year. So I had this life-changing event that made it possible that I could do that again. I just have to get the setup by the end of the month. The other life-changing event was Sora 2. Has been so much fun to play with. Sora 2 is going to make a lot of the baby AI videos even better. And I've been sprinkling in some stuff that was sent to me and some stuff of my own to see what people's reactions would be. Like the UFC stuff is not mine personally, but like some of the car chase ones are mine. Some of the baby AI stuff I've been doing with Sora 2 is mine. I don't know if you guys saw the dancing bear video. I just released that like 3 days ago. So Sora 2, I think is going to be a game changer in how short form content gets posted. Yes, I'm drinking a beer. So, you know, one of the things that I'm really enjoying about AI is now I'm integrating AI into B-roll on my other videos, on my other channels, especially TikTok, especially my podcast. So my podcast, where I talk about the RV lifestyle and the RV industry and everything else, I've been using B-roll to help. And instead of using B-roll, like trying to screw around with editing, I've been using 2 different AI programs to create the B-roll for me and to insert the B-roll, and it does a really, really great job. You can edit it, and it helps like kind of put things in the right perspective. But it's that right balance of live human being me and AI generated imagery for the B-roll. So I'm enjoying that whole, I'm enjoying the process a lot. If you don't know, and it's the first time you ever seen me, a lot of the AI stuff that I put on the channel and a lot of the clips that I put on are, except for the baby stuff I just find is cute. But like the Steve Harvey stuff, the Family Feud stuff, I like to make people laugh. So clipping all that stuff and putting all that editing together and putting all those things together has just been a blast and a lot of fun. And, you know, I spend 4 or 5 hours a day putting a lot of that stuff together. And it's something to me that I will continue to do and continue to look at and navigate. And the third thing that makes, probably going to make me double down on everything, is I'm going to tell you a story. Okay? I'm going to make it a short story, not 2 hours long, a 20-minute story. So hang with me on this, okay? It's a story that's heartbreaking, but at the same time, will make you wonder why. So for a lot of you know that I fell in love with a woman, a wonderful woman. I fell so deeply in love with her that I pretty much would do anything for her. And then what happened today changed everything. What happened today changed absolutely everything. But to get to today, you have to understand a little bit about the past. So at one point, her and I got so close so quickly. We were saying things together because we spent so much time, so much quality time together, and it was doing errands, but god dang, we were like just two peas in a pod. And she confessed her feelings to me first. Okay. That being said, she had an ex-boyfriend. After today, after knowing what I know now, everything makes sense that happened for the last 3 months. So three months ago, she dumps the ex-boyfriend. We start she tells her mother about me. She tells a bunch of her sisters, her friend, her daughter. She starts telling people about us, but keeping it to a small circle of people. And you got to realize everybody in her family knew about the ex-boyfriend. That's important. The second thing important is I never told any of my close friends her real name and never told them any of the situations. None of them. Zero. I didn't tell, my friends know her by a nickname that I didn't even realize she didn't even like. Okay? That being said, we've been out on one date in 3 months, and it happened to be with her sister. I'm going to use air quotation marks because that's important too. And outside of that, we have not been out on a date at all in 3 months. She has not spent the night with me. I have not spent the night with her. We haven't even gone to a movie theater. We haven't even gone out and had a breakfast at Denny's. Okay. Now, there are health things. Oh, Cherry, you're getting there. Cherry, you're getting there. You're getting where I'm going. But you don't know what it's going to be yet because it's not what you think. It's not what you think. She does not have a very good digital footprint. She has a very little digital footprint, but you're gonna love this. Okay, the other important part of this featurette is I have a really good friend of mine, an excellent friend of mine. We're gonna call him Paul. Now that's what I always call him. It's not his real name. I have his name and number saved as Paul and his alias last name. Paul was in intelligence for 22 years. 4 years of it with the military, 18 years with a wink, wink, hint, hint, yoke, yoke, nudge, nudge. Ooh, that hurt. Ooh, that hurt. Ooh. Anyway, so he was mainly a counterintelligence person in the military, and he is extremely good at what he does. I'm going to close the window here because there's sirens going off. Okay. That's important because also, by the way, Paul took this skill set, taught me a ton, because I used to actually help him out when he started a company, started a private investigation company, and he also hunts down bail jumpers and hunts down people who jump across state lines. So the federal government will contract him, federal law enforcement will contract him out to go grab people. So let's say you created a federal crime in California, but you jump out to Colorado, they hire him to go and get you. And he's good. Him and his team are real good. In fact, I was a part of his team when I was in my early to late 20s, okay? Paul's now 62, just to give you an idea, okay? 62 years old. Well, actually, no, I was in my early 30s. I was in my early 30s. So Paul is really good and taught me everything I know, and that's how I found, like, I don't know if I told you the passport story, but I mean, I'm pretty good, but he's the best, right? So here we go. I gave you all the basics. Now let's get to what happened. So a couple weeks ago, I start getting text messages from a phone number I don't recognize. This phone number is from a 628 area code, and my first thought pattern is it's got to be someone from Arizona. I didn't realize that outside the 626, there is a in 619. The 628 is not Arizona, it's San Francisco, California. Didn't know that at the time. Now, these text messages were really weird. They knew things about her and I that I would have assumed only a handful of people knew. Remember, I don't talk to any of my friends about anything dealing with her. None. Okay? I was debating whether to tell her about it. But I said, you know what? I might as well tell her because maybe she'll know who wants to screw with her, because she's going through a lot right now. Health, death in families, blah, blah, blah. So she goes, you need to find out who this is. This has got to be someone that you're talking to. It's what she told me. Because there's no way it could be anybody I know. Because I don't talk about you to anybody. I go, okay. And there's a reason for it. I'm not going to go into it. But there is a legitimate reason why she doesn't. Okay. I'm like, okay. Well, I don't have the time. So I call Paul. Paul says, yeah, send me the phone number, send me the screenshot of all the text messages. So Paul, I don't know how he does it, figured out that this phone, the IP address is somewhere in a place called Contra Costa County. Probably somewhere in the city of Concord, California. Is his estimation based on his thing. And he starts going into things about the text messages. And remember this guy was trained to basically recognize things in text, emails, letters. This dude is highly trained, a former highly trained operative for our federal government. He's not a slouch. He's not some dude down the street that is guessing. This dude has a psychology degree. This dude's super smart. Okay. He says, do you want me to get into it and really pinpoint who possibly was using this burner message and stuff, or burner phone or burner text line? I go, no. I actually said no originally. I said, no. Her and I have been through enough crap. I just want to move on. So I screenshotted the text messages to her and sent them to her. First thing she says is, I don't know why you don't want to find out who this is. You should find out who this is. This has got to be someone on your side. And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, she's talking to me on the phone about this. She goes, it's got to be someone on your side because you're probably the only person who talks about us. And I didn't say anything. She goes, my mama doesn't know about you. My mama doesn't know about my ex. Nobody in the family, in my family, knows who my ex is. Nobody even knows about you and me. Goes on and on. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. But red flags started going up. Like, wait a minute. You called your mama on the way home after you broke up with the boyfriend, and I took you home, and you told your mama over the phone on speaker that you had broken up with your ex. So your mom did know about the ex. Then I heard your mom in the background later that night saying how happy she was that we were going to get together. I'm like, so how does that make sense? I know her sisters. I know 3 of her sisters know about her ex. Now let's get back to the sister. Well, we'll get to her in a minute. We'll get to the sister that I was referring to earlier in a minute. So I started getting that spider sense on the back of my neck. And then I ended up getting in a car accident. But before that, I told Paul, go ahead and find out who this is. Go ahead and do your thing, and I'll confront the people on my own. He goes, okay. And then he ended up finding him, but I ended up in a car accident. So that's why my foot's all screwed up and my back's all screwed up. So I've been out of commission. And he sent me the info, and the info is a man's name that I don't recognize. And I don't know how he got this guy's info. I actually call this guy on his real phone number, introduce myself, start talking to him, and he says to me, he doesn't hang up. What's shocking to me is this guy doesn't hang up on me. He goes, well, I did not send those text messages to you, but I know who did. And she, sorry, give me a second. She would be happy to speak with you in person about it. Now, I made this phone call on Tuesday. So we start speaking out and talking. And he says, hey, Thursday morning, she has Thursday morning off, and she says that she would like to meet. So they give me this address. And the address is basically this Starbucks up in the Northeast Bay, up in Contra Costa County. This gets really good, guys. So I see them. I see the guy, because I had a picture of him, didn't have a picture of the girl. He comes straight up to me and shakes my hand as if he recognizes me, no problem, me with the shorter hair. I go, how do you know what I look like? Because I don't know him. And then she stood up and shook my hand and introduced herself, and I don't recognize her. They only knew me by Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy is my TikTok handle. So as always, I'm like Columbo. I'm like the guy from CSI Miami. I question everything. So I'm like, so how do you, so I just start going into like the questions. And they offered so much information up front, I didn't really have to answer any question or ask a lot of questions. And then I knew, hello, Jason. Then I knew something was wrong and something was up when she was talking about a situation that had happened at court that I knew happened months ago with one of the family members. And apparently that court thing has been like a downhill process. I'm like, nobody knows about that. How do they know about that? Something's not right here. So then she shows me a picture on her phone. Now, if you guys know, on an iPhone, there's a timestamp on the pictures. Not on the picture itself, but above the pictures. So she slides her chair next to me because she knows I can't turn my back, and at the time I couldn't really turn my neck. And she's showing me, and she's going through and flipping through the picture, and this picture was dated. Watch this. This picture was dated right before a cooking accident occurred. And it's in the house that this girl I'm in love with is staying at. I'm like, how did they get this picture if they weren't there? Something weird's going on here. So I asked her to text it to me. As she's talking, she texts it to me. I then send it to my buddy Paul to be analyzed to make sure it's not, not tampered with. Her and I start talking about things, and I go, okay, who's who in this photo? I'm testing her. She nailed every person in that photo's name. And I go, what's the relation between this girl, which I know as her sister, and this person? They go, oh, that's her best. That's been like her best friend, like a cousin type of thing, not biologically. And then she points to the guy and says, that guy is actually this girl's first cousin, and actually the boyfriend of this person that you're in love with. So Paul, in his infinite wisdom, calls me and says, well, the hard part is, John, that it could have been screenshot, but it hasn't been tampered with. He says, I couldn't tell you if the date is right or not. I go, okay. He goes, because it could have been sent to her and she screenshotted it. He says, that thing's been passed around so much, but the photo itself has not been tampered with. It's not photoshopped. It's not, digitally enhanced, no AI, nothing of that nature. I go, okay. The more I talked to this young lady, and she's a younger lady, younger than me, the more I'm like, how do I figure out who this person is? Because it's no one I know. So she gets up with the guy she's with, and they step away for a minute to go in and go get another coffee and something. She left her purse. I dug in her purse, grabbed her ID, photographed her ID, sent it to Paul. Paul goes, well, no criminal history, not associated with any, but no associations. And he's dig. But she did live in several different states, including she lived in Seattle. She's lived in a couple different places like Fresno and just north of Fresno and Atwater and Oakland. So she's bounced around different addresses. I go, interesting. Come to find out, he's her boyfriend. When we finally got down to it, I'm not going to tell you the whole family tree about it, but I'll say by the end, when I left, I started going over in my head events that have occurred all through 2025. Okay. Oh. And it hit me. And if you guys know where the 680 is in Northern California, the 680 freeway, there's the 680 and 580, and when you get off from the 580 east from 680 south, there's an exit called Dublin Boulevard. And there's a couple of nifty little restaurants and a little Mexican hole-in-the-wall place right there off Dublin Boulevard off the freeway. But you got to come around because there's like a Tesla dealer and another dealer and stuff like that right there. But you have to come around off that freeway. There's this couple hole-in-the-wall places. So I pull over and I made a phone call. I needed to talk to someone. I didn't want to talk to Paul because Paul's going to tell me I'm an idiot if I keep being with her. Because he's a logical person. And he doesn't know her. So I wanted to talk to somebody that understands me. And I couldn't get a hold of this person. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't heard from her in 2 days. I'm going to text her. So I open up the phone. And I sent her 2 text messages yesterday. And 1 text the day before, basically saying, good morning, gorgeous. And then yesterday I sent her, hope your foot, because she hurt her foot. Hope your foot's feeling better. And I was like, if you want, you can see a picture of my foot and maybe it'll help you feel better. I sent those in the last 2 days. Didn't send her one today yet. You open it up, and there it is. Red. Yesterday. Red. R-E-A-D. No response. So 2 days, I've texted her, and she's left me on red. Oh. So if you're wondering the reason why I'm probably going to be able to do the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week live stream, is because once I saw that, for the next 15 minutes while I was eating tacos and drinking horchata, I realized I was being used. I went through everything that had been said this year, and I realized that this young lady had said something to me that was shocking. She said, because you were involved with another family member and that you would go to her for anything you needed, she saw an opportunity. And she says, Johnny boy, the things they say about you behind closed doors is not good. That you're an ATM machine. That if she can get through the end of the year and get her 2 or 3 bills she needed to get through to, she could disappear from me and leave me alone. I helped her with that last little one as much as I could because I've had my own problems. And then I get left on red for 2 days. I got used. So instead of confronting her, instead of going through all that, today, as I was sitting in that restaurant, I blocked her on everything. Texts, calls, social media, WhatsApp, anything I knew, Snapchat, anything I could find her picture on a profile, I blocked it. Then I blocked her 24-year-old daughter on everything. Blocked her youngest sister. Blocked the best friend who's a distant cousin by marriage, but a first cousin is the boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, whatever he is. Blocked her mom because I had her mom's number. I blocked as many of them as I could find in my phone. And since I have moved jobs and moving where I'm living, more than likely I will never see or hear from them again. So instead of getting depressed and mad and upset, I started looking at it from another perspective. I'm like, you know what? Never again do I trust what people say. I'm going to trust what they do. And then B, I was thinking, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity to do that live stream 24/7 for a full year. Because nobody's done it yet. Nobody's done it on YouTube where they are live streaming their entire life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for one full year. There's been 3 people who have done it on Kick and Twitch. Oh, I dodged a big bullet. I dodged a huge, huge bullet. I called my kid's mother and talked to her about it. Oh, yeah, it sucks. It sucks big time. But you know what, Jason? This is her fault. I'm going to tell you why it's her fault. She pushed me to find out who this person that was texting me is. She pushed me, saying it had to be somebody you know. It's somebody in your circle. You got to go find out who this is. I was going to let it go and be in ignorant bliss. So her getting blocked today, her entire family getting blocked and completely removed out of my life in complete silence where I'll never talk to them again, it's her fault. Because if I just stopped like I wanted to and didn't go find out who sent me these text messages, if I had stopped like I wanted to instead of having my buddy Paul pursue it, I never found any of this out. I'll have never gone and met this person in real life. I would have never, ever found out that I've been lied to. Now, I can't say I was cheated on. Can't say that. Because cheating would require you to be in an actual full-blown relationship. Which she made clear about over a month ago that we were working towards it. Because when I asked her about a little over a month ago if I was her man, she said, I'm confused. I thought we were working towards that. So she never cheated. But I was lied and manipulated. I'm going to be extra cautious of everybody, Jason. But see, I was extra cautious already. But I decided, because she pursued me, and when she was pursuing me, I did not have the success on YouTube that I've been having lately. Okay? And her actions between beginning of May to mid-July said, plain and simple, that the words she was saying were how she really felt. And then something changed right around my birthday weekend, right around July. My birthday's July 23rd, so right around July 17th, July 18th, something happened on those dates, and everything changed. So, I'm again, she has no one else to blame but herself, because she basically was pressing me to go find out who this person was. So I shared, well, if you ask her, we were never together, because like I said, in that text message over a month ago, when I asked her if I was her man, I was doing it just to be like, it was in a situation where I'm like, look, I'm going to take care of this because I'm your man. I said, hey, aren't I your man? And she said, I'm confused. I thought we were working towards that. So something occurred. Yeah, I mean, again, Nitin, in the end, if she didn't push me to go find out who this person was, I would have sat in ignorant bliss. She pushed me to go find out who this person was, because there's no way it's someone that knows her. Come to find out, it's a young lady that knows her really well and knows the person that she's living with temporarily really well, and knows the ex-boyfriend of said friend very well, or I'm sorry, sister very well, like new last names. I mean, I've never mentioned the nephew and nieces and the whole situation that they're going through with that. And this person knew the first and middle and last name of all the kids. Knew the first and last name and the two nicknames of the baby daddy of the kids that are the nephew and nieces. This young lady even knew what hospital their mother The girl I'm talking about's mother had a stroke and had to be taken to, and knew about the second stroke. This young lady knew more about what was going on than I did. I knew bits and pieces and fractions. She filled in the blanks. I don't know this person from Adam. If this woman I talked to this morning in real life is that good of an actor, God bless whoever hired her. God bless whoever fucking put the effort in to try to screw my life up. But it's hard to fake all that stuff. And like my buddy said, like Paul said, it's hard to fake a photograph. It's hard to fake a timestamp. Of a timestamp on the phone, not a timestamp on the photo. A timestamp on the phone when the photo was either downloaded or taken. No, I don't think she's in on it. No. She's not a direct blood relative. She's connected to, and the family's a big family. It's not a small family. She's connected to the family in a different way. So most of the family knows about my TikTok channel because, as I said, I was involved with another family member at one point earlier this year. Said family member would tell everybody and anybody around about my TikTok. I'm not sad or mad. I'm buzzed. Yeah. So I called my kid's mother and talked to her about it. I wanted a female perspective. I was shocked at her answer. She says, well, shouldn't you give him the benefit of the doubt and maybe talk to her first before you block her? And I thought about that for a little bit. I actually thought about that most of the day. And then when I pulled up, I realized, you know what? My back is killing me. My foot is broken. And for 2 days, she has not called to see how I'm doing. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about me. She cares about what I can do for her. So in essence, I dodged a bullet. Because I could have probably been an ignorant love and bliss. Because I'm not one that bugs women. If a woman wants to talk to me, I don't go chasing her to death. Like, there was a point in time when I was talking to my kid's mom where she didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. And then she called me one day, why aren't you calling me? I texted you 2 weeks ago. You didn't respond, so I figured you were busy. I don't text every single day if somebody doesn't respond. If you don't respond, I'm not going to text back. Unless I have something to say. It's the way I've always been. If I call you and leave you a message on your answering machine back in the day or on your voicemail and you don't return the call, I'm not going to call you again. I'm gonna wait for you to call me. Ball's in your court. So I would have just sat in ignorant bliss. I sat in absolute ignorance. Fuck. This is craziness. And God bless the dude that was with this chick. I guess it's her boyfriend. The dude sat there the whole time. At first, he was scared. Like, he was pissing his pants. I could swear to God he pissed his pants. Because he's a tall black guy. Probably 6'7", 6'8", tall dude. Good looking dude, too. Big muscles, Not like big Arnold Schwarzenegger, but, nice muscles. And he's pissing his freaking pants. And finally, he kind of realized I'm not there to be violent. First of all, I think once he saw me limping with the big-ass freaking foot boot I have on, I think he kind of realized I'm not there to fight or cause a scene. But apparently I have a reputation up here in Northern California. I don't think I want that kind of reputation. Oh, I don't want to laugh. Oof. I called Paul, and Paul has a wife. Paul's wife's real name is Jamie. I could hear her in the background when we were talking before I went live earlier on the other channel. And I heard her. She's like, John, you dodged the biggest freaking missile on God's green earth. You didn't just dodge a bullet, you dodged a heat-seeking missile. God. Unbelievable. What's really sick is I trusted her daughter. Because her daughter's cool. Her daughter's she's 24, going back to school, trying to put her life together. She's doing some things to try to help the family. That means her daughter's been lying to me the whole time, too. And one of the cases, so I don't know if you know, but she got burned in a cooking accident. So I happened to find some stuff that would help with the burn. Wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So I drove 3 hours round trip, 3.5 hours round trip to get this medication to her that was going to help out with her burns. And apparently she was asleep, so her daughter ran out. But her daughter acted so weird. See, now everything comes back in my head like the signs were there, John. They were slapping you in the face. This woman was using you. It was there the whole time. I just chose not to look. I chose not to look. Because I remember two things that she said when she came out. She said she's in the bedroom with a couple people sleeping. And all I said was, don't wake her. She hasn't been sleeping very much because of the pain she's in. And normally her daughter will want to sit in the car with me and chit-chat for 20 minutes, catch up, because we haven't seen each other. She ran in, grabbed the medication I get, and ran back in the house so quick. It was so unusual. Yeah, but Jason, I should have known better. I should have seen it, because it was slapping me in the face. I'm more mad at myself than I'm anything else. I'm mad at myself because all the signs were slapping me in the face. Never wanted to see me. Never wanted me in the hospital with her. Never wanted me to help her out with the injuries she suffered. Never wanted me in the ER. Never wanted me to go down and see her and take care of her. Never wanted to come up here and stay with me so I could take care of her. There were so many signs. So many red flags, and I ignored them. So I'm more mad at myself. So mad at myself. But this young lady, I'm going to do something special for her, the lady that talked to me today. I'm going to do something special for her. I have her phone number now, and I know where she lives. I'm going to do something very special for her. Because it's like God sent her, God gave her, it's like God put this woman that has a conscience and has a lot of humanity into the situation. Let me tell you how it was interesting how the situation, how she ended, God, I'm in a lot of pain. It was really interesting how she ended up in the situation. Now, I have to be careful because I'm a little buzzed and I don't want to give away her identity to anyone. So how do I tell you how she got involved? So she is connected to the baby daddy of the nephew and nieces. Okay. Apparently, she has hung out with several family members, and those family members, I guess, had shown her my TikTok. And apparently, when I guess they all went out drinking before the cooking accident a little over a month ago. And I guess they all ended up in a little city called Merced, California, and went drinking, and that's when the picture was taken. I don't care. No, they're not watching. Who cares? They won't be able to figure it out off that information. So at the end of the day, and then there's more to the story and gaps I left out, but I'll put it to you like this: the connecting the dots to the fullest extent connects her to this point right here. I'm so mad at myself. So angry with myself. I knew better. I know better. And I still let it happen. But the good news is, it's over. No one can contact me again. From that side of the family, from that family, her family members, nobody can contact me ever again. And they'll never show up. And probably by the end of the month, I'll probably change my phone number. It's hot in here. I gotta open up the window. I gotta shower at some point too. No, because I moved. So they don't know where I'm at. I had to change jobs because the place I was working for is closing down. They don't know where I live. They know nothing. It's over. It's over. No shit, Jason. It's okay. It's all right, my man, because you know what? At the end, I'm glad it happened now. Because that means I get to enjoy Thanksgiving and Halloween. I'll get over it. I'll get over it pretty fast because I blame myself. I don't blame them. Once I get over blaming myself, I'll be able to enjoy hopefully Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'll get back to college football and get back to normal things that I love to watch and enjoy instead of busting my ass to pay somebody's bills. And continue to grow YouTube and continue to grow your TikTok and continue to grow my businesses and my e-commerce. And yeah, no, I'm excited. In a lot of ways, I'm excited. In a lot of ways, I'm mad at myself and I need a shower. And that's going to be hard. Yeah, but you know what, Jason? If I recognized it over a month ago, I would have already been done. You know, human beings lie to each other when we want to get something, right? So, like, I'll give you a great example. Men lie to women to get them into bed. They'll lie about how much money they make. They'll lie about how big their member is. They'll lie about all kinds of shit to get a woman into bed. So we all do it. You know. Well, we don't all do it, but human beings do it. So anyway, I'm going to try to shower. It's going to be the hardest thing because I don't even know if I can still wipe my butt. We're going to try. And see you guys on the flip side.